Assalamu alaikum class. My name is Engineer Hassanza and today we are going to start chapter number 6, lecture number 15, which is all about friction, and the chapter outlines or the lecture will cover introduction of the friction, then frictional phenomena, type of friction, then dry friction, and certain number of numericals to explain the concept of friction. So what is friction? Friction is basically tangential force generated between contacting surfaces are called friction force, and it tends to retard the motion between relative motion between two मैटिंग सर्फेसिस। इसका मतलब ये होगा कि जो हमारे पास दो इन कॉन्टैक्ट सर्फेसिस हैं उनके दरमियान मोशन को रिलेटिव मोशन के अगेंस्ट जो रिटार्डेशन फोर्स है that is known as frictional force. Frictional force are frictional phenomena involved in many type of practical examples, either in case of positive one or in case of negative one. Like if we are dealing with positive one, the example of clutch, brake, uh, declaration, or the wedges are the perfect example of the positive or the uses of friction. So by using this frictional phenomena, we have to stop or to decrease the speed of some object, moving object, or we have to stop some object, like by using brakes to stop the vehicle or the motorbike or something like this else. Then there are some disadvantages or negative sides of the friction as well, as it causes wear and tear, it causes noise, it causes retardation, it decreases the speed, uh, then it causes like in case of pipes, gears, flow of fluid in pipes, it causes a energy loss in terms of heat, in terms of sound. So these are can be negative sides of the friction or the disadvantages of the friction. A machine or a process in which friction is small enough to be neglected is known as ideal system or ideal machine. So it means if we are going to use machine where the frictional phenomena is very minimum to be neglected, this type of machine or process or the system is known as ideal. But when we take account the frictional phenomena in terms of actual problems, this type of machine or the process is known as real. In all real cases where there is sliding motion between the parts, the friction force results in loss of energy which dissipate in the form of heat. Wear is another effect of friction. Wear and tear, then energy loss is also effects of the friction. Then there are types of friction. There are many types, but certainly we will deal with dry friction, fluid friction, and internal friction. So what is dry friction? Dry friction is basically the friction between unlubricated matting or contacting surfaces. जो ऐसी surfaces हैं जो आपस में relative motion में हैं but without lubrication. This type of friction between surfaces is known as dry friction. So this type of friction is also known as Coulomb's friction. Coulomb's friction. Then what is fluid friction? Fluid is basically anything that tends to flow is known as fluid. Fluid are basically two types, liquid or gases. So the frictional force between moving adjacent layers of the fluid is known as fluid friction. And fluid friction is totally dependent upon the relative velocity between adjacent layers of fluid and then their viscosity. So there are two parameters or the factors that controls a fluid friction. One is the relative velocity between adjacent layers of the fluid, and second one is the viscosity of that fluid that controls the behavior of the fluid against the friction. If there is more relative velocity between adjacent layers, the friction will increase. and if viscosity increase, then ultimately friction will also increase, and it can be affected by temperature, some other parameters as well. Then internal friction. Internal friction is occur in all solid material which are subjected to cyclic loading, like elastic materials, spring, etc., that are used for the deformation and then to gain its original form in terms of elastic deformation. But if they go under certain loads beyond the critical limit, they will go for plastic deformation. For material which have low limits of elasticity and which undergo appreciable plastic deformation during loaded, a considerable amount of internal friction may accompany this deformation. The mechanism of internal friction is associated with the action of shear deformation. It is also known as shear deformation. In this detail, we will discuss dry friction. So, dry friction is covered in terms of unlubricated surfaces or unlubricated matting surfaces. So what is mechanism of dry friction? We will explain by using this figure. We have a weight M falling on a surface, placed on a surface, and we want to drag it with certain force P. There is a weight of the object acting vertically downward with the magnitude as mg, and against this weight there is a normal reaction of the surface. Every action has a reaction equal in magnitude but opposite in direction, but in case of static condition this weight is equal to this normal reaction. So it means in terms of static condition W will be equal to N, and there are if we are going to apply or to drag by using a certain force P or certain pull P, then there will be a frictional force against the tangent of the motion direction. So the resultant of this normal reaction and this force F is known as R. अच्छा, इसमें बेसिकली कंसेप्ट ये है कि जो हमारी ये जो सरफेस है, even it looks very smooth, but there are some undulation and then up and down on the surface that eventually will form the normal reaction and the frictional phenomena, and the resultant of this normal reaction and friction is known as R. If we distribute our this whole surface into small particle or the small points according to the up and downs, then this resultant can be distributed likewise as R1, R2 and R3, and this friction is always against the direction of motion because it's a retardation or it's the opposition against the motion, so its direction will always be in the opposite direction of the motion. So here is a very interesting graph. Basically there are two parts of this graph up to impending motion. First part is for static condition and second one is the kinetic condition. So if we apply a certain force P up to starting motion point or the sliding point, the force will be equal to the, and this friction will be equal to the applied force P, applied pressure you can say, or the applied force P. Up to this force point, friction will be equal to mu Sn. It means our friction will be directly proportional to the normal reaction and is equal to mu Sn. What is mu S? Mu S is the coefficient of static friction, and it's depend upon the normal reaction and the surface condition, like this one, undulation are visible. Then if from second part, impending motion, after impending motion has been started, and Fk kinematic friction will be equal to mu k into n. N is the normal reaction, and what is mu k? Mu k is the coefficient of kinetic friction, which depends upon the relative motion between relative velocity between adjacent layers. So up to this point, up to static condition, if we are going to increase our pull P, then frictional force will ultimately increase, and at this point the frictional force will be at maximum value F max, which will be equal to mu Sn. Then after the motion has been started, the friction will decrease as Fk is equal to mu k into n, and as velocity will going to increase, the frictional phenomena will be decreased likewise. So our reactions R1, R2 and R3 depends on the geometric profile of the irregularities, but also on the extent of local deformation at each point. Our reactions R1, R2, R3 depends upon the local irregularities in the geometric profile. So then static friction, as we have F max is equal to mu Sn, where mu s is the coefficient of static friction, and before movement has been started, friction will be less than mu s n. And what is kinetic friction? After the motion has been started, friction will be equal to mu k into n. What is mu k? Mu k is the proportional coefficient of kinetic friction, and as the velocity increases, the kinematic friction decreases somewhat, and at high velocity the decrease may be significant. So at high velocity, the decrease in the kinetic friction will be significant at a very high rate. Coefficient of friction depends greatly on the exact condition of the surface as well as on the relative velocity. So friction angle tan into phi s is equal to mu Sn in case of static friction. In case of kinetic friction, tan phi k is equal to mu k. All these are the cone of static friction, cone of kinetic friction. Then important factors affecting friction. There are many factors that affect the phenomena of friction. So first and important one is the geometric irregularities of the matting surfaces. Then the lubrication, either the surface is lubricated or unlubricated. Then the material type, mm, uh, then the molecules attraction or intermolecular attraction between the matting surfaces, temperature, and the applied load, then weight. All these are the parameters that will define the effect of friction. So type of frictional problems, key concept are the main points. In the first type of problem, the condition of impending motion to known is the exist. So it means the object is in static condition limiting to F max is equal to mu Sn, and then before uh, for starting the motion we have three categories, like friction is less than F max. So here the friction force necessary for equilibrium can be supported, and therefore the body is in static equilibrium condition as assumed, and F is less than maximum value of friction. Then just to start the motion, F is equal to F max. Friction is at maximum value F max. Motion impends as discussed. The assumption of static equilibrium is valid. So these are the two valid points: F less than F max and friction is equals to F maximum. If F greater than F max, it's impossible, because F max has its maximum value at mu Sn, and friction force cannot be greater than F maximum. The third type, where the motion has been started or the motion exists, and the case is as Fk is equal to mu k into n. So sample problem 1, determine the maximum angle with adjustable incline may have with the horizontal before the block of mass m begins to slip. The coefficient of static friction between block and inclined surface is mu Sn. So we have to find the angle at which this mass or the block will start its motion. weight is equal to mg, w is equal to mg, summation of fx is equal to 0, mg sin theta minus f is in this direction, f will be equal to mg sin theta, and normal reaction will be equal to mg cos theta, and f is equal to f max at static condition mu sn, and mu s will be equal to tan theta maximum, and for the motion condition theta maximum will be equal to tan inverse into mu s. Then problem 6.2, determine the range of values which mass m naught may have to be in the kg block. In the figure, will I neither start moving up the plane nor slip down the plane. The coefficient of the static friction is 0.3. अब ये क्वेश्चन इस तरह है कि हमने वो एंगल फाइंड आउट करना है, ठीक है, या रेंज फाइंड आउट करनी है कि ना ही ये ब्लॉक डाउनवर्ड स्लिप करे, ना ही इस एम नॉट वेट की वजह से नीचे को आगे को मूव करना शुरू कर अपवर्ड. So the first condition is the weight of the block n, which is 100 kg mass, so weight will be equal to 981 Newton. W will be equal to mg. So normal reaction F maximum in this direction, frictional force, angle, inclined angle is 20 degree, T is equal to m naught g, the tension in the string or in the rope, n normal reaction, summation of forces in y direction, n minus weight into cos theta, normal reaction is equal to 920 Newton, and F maximum is equal to mu s into n. Mu s is equal to 0.3, and normal reaction 920 which is equal to 277. Summation of forces in x direction is equal to 0, m into m naught into g, tension, minus this frictional force F maximum minus sine component of this weight. So m naught will be equal to 62.4. So the minimum value of m naught to determine the way the motion is impends down the plane is equal to 62.4. So next condition is f x is equal to 0, m naught into g plus 277 minus weight into sine theta is equal to 6.0 kg. So we can say there are range of the weight from 6.0 kg to 62.4 kg. For 6.0 kg is the minimum value required to restrain the weight to slides downward, or to move upward, and the 62.4 is the maximum weight that will stop this block from moving downward. अब हमारे पास ये complete range आ गई as 6.01 kg to 62.4 kg. So thus may have value from 6.0 kg to 62.4 kg, and the block will remain in its rest condition, neither move downward nor upward. So that was all about this lecture. You have to solve the numerical problems from exercise 6.1 to 6.10. So that was all about today's lecture. If you have any question or query, feel free to ask. Thank you very much, guys.